how many people end up leaving companies that were actually good jobs for them strictly because they were unable to have the proper conversation? You know, when I think about all the people that have left, you know, I get it on the receiving end. I get people that email 4 or 5 years later that regret leaving because they didn't take care of one little thing that became a big thing, you know. And by the way, I have enough self-awareness and accountability to know that if I didn't have the luxury of being a CEO and like being a business owner, my lack of wanting to have confrontation and candor would have meant that I probably would have been that kind of employee that it's easier for me to move on than to address it. I mean, I think about it in a lot of parts of my life when I was, you know, it's why I broke up with girlfriends as a kid when it could have been addressed, but because I didn't want to address it. Yeah. You know, so when you hear me frame up that question, because I'm trying to think of, like, there's a far majority of people that are listening right now that are employees that have little micro problems. And I just think that whole framework that you and your sis have around the chicken could be stunningly impactful on. If one person listening to this podcast tomorrow sets up a meeting with their actual boss and actually delivers what's on their mind, that may save them for being able to stay in a company they actually like a lot of things of. Yeah. I feel that a lot of people leave a lot of companies or let a seed become cancer because of, please.
Yeah, let me address it. So it's actually, and I've done this with a bunch of your people, it's in Inner You in module 7. It's called Career Haunting.
Why don't you tell everybody how you expanded your business to not just be human, but platform?
Yeah, so let me answer this and then I'll tell you. So I'm speaking about everyone, Inner You, which is our online coaching module, 12 modules. So Inner You, life, career, love, student, we have different ones. But in module 7, in the career one, it's a career haunting. Now, what's a career haunting? It's something that happened. So let's say however old you are, you've had a million experiences. And when we ask you for your career haunting, let's say you've got 5 to 10 of them. The question is, why does that haunt you and the other 999,000 experiences don't? Because the way you tell that story has a lie in it, or you didn't learn the right lesson. So and most people, the right lesson is speak up, use your voice. Why did you let that person do that to you when you didn't say anything? And then they leave the job and you learned the wrong lesson called hello, use your voice. Go ask your boss, why did you do that when you said you were going to do this? Like there's a conversation. And so the hauntings will keep happening to you in your life over and over until you learn the right lesson.
Beth, when people come to you and say, Beth, I hear you, you shoot it straight. I love this, you know, Long Island vibe. You and Gary spent, you know, if they hit you up on social or something for this, you guys spent a ton of time on shooting it straight and the candor thing, which makes sense because that was such a big framework for us. We had strengths, but this was a weakness. But fuck that, you two were wrong. I shoot it straight all the time and I'm always getting in trouble. I'm always getting fired. Yeah. For the person who's listening here, that
I got you.
Yeah, because I think it's going to help because I've noticed that. Yeah.
Listen.
Let me finish this because I think you got me, but I want to make sure everybody gets it.
Okay, good.
For the person that hears this and says, well, this is the wrong advice. I've had a very difficult time in my career because I've been fired multiple times because the boss doesn't actually want to hear the truth. What's the common mistake for the person that finds themselves candorous? What are they missing?
You're missing empathy. You're missing the kindness side. You're missing your heart. You can't hit somebody upside the head with a brick with no heart. You'll leave them bloody. So even though your message might be accurate, if you do it with a punch, with no kindness and no empathy and no caring about the human, you kind of deserve the smack, right?
Easy for people who are bosses or leaders or owners. Thoughts for the people. A lot of times I find that employees don't feel they need to do that because the machine, the bosses have the leverage. I've noticed, I've tried to coach and talk to a lot of I'm like, look, just because, yes, you're a junior employee, bricks still make bosses bleed too. Correct? Incorrect? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
No, you can't. It's disrespect. The boss is going to feel disrespected, right? Or that you're not loyal, or whatever the pet peeve is for that boss. You don't ever want to disrespect someone. It's always, how can I let you know what isn't working for me from my heart so you can hear me, right? And then we can have a conversation. People, it's not, your boss, your manager, they care about you. I know you've come up with whatever story you now believe and gathering evidence for, but you're gathering evidence and you're going to be walking right out the door. So the main principle is whatever you believe, you prove. If you believe your boss doesn't like you, you're going to keep proving it, and therefore you won't go speak to them. So you don't want to get stuck with that belief, because likely it's not true, even though you're gathering evidence for it.